So I'm going to introduce the candidate for U.S. Senate, Mr. Sean Braddy.
Thank you, Secular Student Alliance. Thank you, AOK, for hosting the event. And I want to start out this by saying this is a safe place. So if you are believers, I'm not here to offend anybody. I'm not here to take away from any religion. I'm here to include those who have been left out. I'm not here to spit in the face of Christianity or any sorts. I am just here expanding the reach, or bringing information to the reach in the change of politics and religion. Now, I've been an atheist since 1998 when my first son was born. Of course, I've always had those revolving questions that kept coming up from childhood. And when my first son was born, I had made the conscious decision that I wasn't going to run him through that, and I was going to step away from religion. And if I ever found any kind of evidence or reason to actually believe in God, then it had to be sound, and it had to be, a strong sense other than, well, hey, my shoe was tied, and that's how I know God was there. Now, how did I come to run, for U.S. Senate? I just want to say, y'all, this whole thing is just a dare. Started out as a dare. Then it became a double dare. And so when they triple dog dared me, I'm just playing. But I do want everybody to, imagine, this. What would it mean if November 9th, Rachel Maddow comes on MSN and says, Oklahoma has elected an African-American independent atheist senator. That would stun the world. That would stun the country, and it would stun the world. I was speaking with a friend from Germany, and he said, when people in Europe talk about America, one of the states that come up quite often is, guess, Oklahoma. We've done some crazy things in the past, and our news makes it worldwide. So again, if we change here, if I am elected, that would, make people think, wait a minute, maybe Oklahoma is not as red as we think. Is this possible? I think yes. In talking to some of my political friends who've been in the industry for a while, they said, well, yeah, Sean, this is the best chance. If you was ever going to run, this is one of the better chances of, pulling off an upset. And maybe, next year in 2018, the odds will increase. I acknowledge it is an uphill battle, and I'm okay with that. But is it possible? From what I've seen and what I've experienced, yes, it is. I've come across a group called the Barna Group. And the Barna Group, has released their 15 top studies of the past year. And one of those was the post-Christian beliefs are on the rise. And when they say post-Christian belief, I'm pretty sure they're talking about secular beliefs are on the rise. From 2013 to 2015, there's been a 7-point increase in secular, beliefs becoming more popular amongst the U.S. And of course, some of the questions that they asked, of those 15 questions, if you meet 12, I guess that is what they considered post-Christian beliefs. And one of those questions were, are you atheist? And yeah, I guess folks just answered, atheist or agnostic. Do you believe in God? Have you attended church in the last year? So with that, in just 2 years, to go from 33% to 47 or 37% to 44%, it's a huge increase. And I want to say, this, my professor I was speaking to at the last AOK or Free OK meeting that we had, he said, well, Sean, even if we do nothing, even if everyone up in this room, we do nothing, the ball's already rolling. People are already looking into, what they believe. People are starting to question religion. And again, I'm not here to spit in the face of religion. But if I did have one advice for pastors, ministers, even the politicians who are truly religious, I would say, you got to stop, demonizing religion. If you want to say religion, you better get it out of politics right now, today. Because the more a politician gets up there and speaks about, LGBT rights and how that's a sin, the more they get up there and talk about women's rights and having control over women's bodies, the more you're running folks off. About 3 weeks ago, we had a garage sale, and it was on a Sunday. And the churchies, the religious folks, after church came on out, and I had one guy, he was just so hateful. Of course, their job is to come in, and preach a sermon to him. He was looking, he was looking at some of the stuff we had out there, but then he just hopped over. I don't know how we even got in the conversation. He started talking about homos. Well, yes, homos. He didn't say LGBT. He came out, he went old school on me, homos. And to hear him talk about, well, I believe if you got guy parts, then you're a guy. I tried to change it and go to another conversation, and here is where, we went to, in the conversation afterwards. Drug use. It is a health issue. Well, no, it's not a health issue. It's just sin. Now, I sold drugs when I was 26, and the Lord got me out of it. But what about the people who weren't lucky and didn't get out of it? You made a conscious change, but if we're throwing people in prison, then you're not giving people the same chance that you had. Some folks, it might just take them a little bit longer to grow. But what I noticed is the way he spoke in his hateful tone, me being kind of, cynical, it's like, hey, man, I need you to keep on speaking, because the more you speak to people like that, the more you run off. Is Oklahoma ready for a progressive change? Yes. I've been down to Ada. I've been to Woodward, Tahlequah. And there are people down there that are pretty progressive. I had one lady in Durant. After she, in the home of Sally Kern, after, about a week after she, was trying to help out with the campaign, she called and said, Sean, hey, I just looked and saw that you were atheist. Yes, I am. Are you crazy? You're black, you're atheist, and you're into, yes. And here is what she said, hey, you're pure light. Yeah. And I realized, and hear her say that, it just reaffirmed what I'd already realized. I don't have to answer to any large corporations. I don't have to answer to any political parties. I don't have to have my decisions dictated by a religion. I can truly listen to just people. Just people. Nothing is going to alienate me from listening to the Muslims because I'm Christian. Nothing's going to, keep me from listening to Christians. My mom is Christian because I'm atheist. I really do get to represent everybody and listen to everybody and what's important to everybody. Let me hop back over to this Barner group. Are we ready? Yes, we are. One of the other surveys that they found, one of their top surveys they found was how people define themselves. Now, how many people we got that was born, 71? Anybody born in the 70s here? All right, yeah, a few of us. Yeah. Y'all remember the time when people would ask you who you are, and you would say, I'm a child of God? Do anybody remember saying that? When I was, religious, yeah, there's those answers. Yeah, hey, I'm, largely defined by, my religion. But that has changed today. In their survey, the Barna Group, again, they say 45% strongly identify their religion as a large part of who they are. When you hop down to Generation X, it was 38% of us are, or 38% of them said that, I'm largely identified by, my religion. And when we get down to millennials, how many millennials do we got? Yeah, so many of you. Only 28%. So what I gather from this is, yeah, we're still changing, but if we would have tried to pull this off in the 80s, open atheists running for office would have been a little bit more difficult. But with these changing numbers, when people are less likely to identify that religion makes up everything who you am, yeah, we're starting to see a progressive change. A survey also, suggested that, or found that, people are concerned about what the candidates' stances are. It said presidential, but I'm going to go ahead and jump the gun and say, well, whatever candidate that they're representing. They're more concerned about if they take a stance, where they take a stance on their platform. So for all groups, somebody guess the top 2 issues for all groups were. What political issues?
Healthcare.
Healthcare was number 2.
Terrorism or something.
Yeah, no. Economy was number 1. Economy was number 1. Now, that's the same for the, always messes up, evangelicals. Guess what their top 2 were? That's number 3. That was number 3.
Bathrooms.
Trans bathrooms.
Oh, religious rights. Religious liberty was their second, but guess what their number 1 was? Economy. And here is my mindset. When it comes to religion, if you're hungry and you can't put money in a plate, hey, there's an issue. There is something that people realize, hey, I got to get up and do something no matter what it is. That is where I get super, passionate about. It doesn't make a difference to me that you're religious. But when you go to church and you have to pass the plate because you have nothing to give, or if you give something, it's going to put you in a bind, to me, economy first. You can donate where you want. You can give your money to the church. I may not agree with it, but I want the economy so that people can survive, so that people can put the money where they want to put their money. When I was a kid, I remember passing the plate. Well, I know we didn't have nothing to give, And to me, that's got to stop. So with everybody, does it make a difference? Religion? No, the economy. The economy. People having money to put food on their table. That's super important. So where a candidate stands on the issue is something else they find in their report that really matters. Not, not religious freedom, although that's second for the evangelicals. Number 1 is economy. So even if James Langford decides, yeah, hey, I do want to debate you, that means, hey, I'm doing something right. Y'all keep your eye on that. Right now, I'm not seen as a threat. But if, I am, and he wants to, debate me, again, the economy. People are not, worried about, well, religion is important to some, but if we focus on the economy, we continue to talk about, people, healthcare was the second, economy, we just stay on the issues. You can have your church, but I'm going to stay on the issues. I'm going to focus on what's really hurting folks. Now, let me go to, religious liberties, religious freedom. What does that mean to anybody? Anybody have a definition for religious liberty or religious freedom? What it should include?
It should include freedom to practice, not be discriminated.
Yeah.
Why?
Freedom to practice. I agree with that.
I think it's been perverted, though, to control people, though, as in like gay rights and a lot of things like that.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily about that they don't have the rights to practice openly. It's that they want to try and control American society, as in abortion rights, gay rights, things like that, and that's what they consider. That's what really matters, what the public considers.
And there, I think, folks are asking that question. I think you're spot on. They're asking that question. What does, one's religious freedom, what does it mean to somebody else? And do I have to give up, my freedoms in order to, compensate for what you consider religious freedoms? Do women have to give up control of their own bodies so that you can be happy about your religious freedoms? No, absolutely not. They did another survey that said, that women, are disengaging from religion. They asked women the question, do you feel like you get support from your church or from your synagogue? 17% said yes, and 49, let me check my numbers, make sure 43% said not at all. So again, I like being fair. And, if a pastor was to ask me, I would say, yeah, hey, y'all missing a boat on this. If you really want to say religion, you're going to have to give up telling women that they don't have control over their own bodies. If you really, want to preserve religion, you can't go out and tell this guy that he doesn't love this guy and they're living in sin. I have a conclusion that religion, changes to meet, the need, or let me say that, I'm saying it backwards. is that, religion, we don't serve religion. Religion serves us in what? Well, we'll say Christians, or well, we serve us in what we think is right. I still may be saying it back, and I want to make sure, I'm clear on that, is that what one defines religion as, another group may not define religion as. I may have to throw that one out. I'm tripping over my words, and if I get it, I'll come back to that. But again, when we start talking about religious freedoms, somebody's going to get left out. What truly is religious freedom? For us to practice or not practice, for us to believe or not believe, for us to have a say-so over who we love, how we live, if we go to church, if we don't go to church at all. To me, that's true religious freedom. And again, do we have a chance, to win this? I'm coming back to, do we have a chance to win this? Yes, because, religious freedom is shutting a lot of people out. And if they want to say that, I would tell any pastor right now, you got to change, and you got to tell the politicians to stop trying to use it to get elected. Don't use people's religion against them. Let me hop on over to the outreach plan. And I do want to keep this and make sure there's plenty of time for, questions and answers and dialogue back and forth where I stand, because I'm sure there's a lot of questions like, how am I going to answer if somebody, asks me about my religion? Yeah, I've been planning and I've been waiting. But up until this day, nobody has asked me. Again, it's out there. Just real quick before I hop over, has anybody Googled my name?
I just did. I did.
What did you find when you Googled my name?
I found actually an Oklahoma politics
Yeah.
website.
Yeah.
I didn't actually find it.
Anybody else? Yeah. Yeah.
Facebook, your website for the Senate.
Yeah.
It used to be that story in the Daily.
Used to be
Oklahoma.
the story in the Daily. And to me, when people Google my name, yeah, they are going to see that Oklahoma article that I did in 2010, I think it was, with Red McCall. And that is good. That's fine with me. It's not my intent to go out and spit in the face of Christianity. It's not my intent, to go out and just throw it out there. Hey, I'm atheist. No. Because again, my intent is to represent everybody fairly. But the more people Google my name, the more people see, that, oh, he is atheist. And if I still, get any percent of the vote, I've already started, another revolution. I've already started something else going. I ran as an open atheist. So if all 3 million people in Oklahoma know that I'm atheist and I still get, 10% of the vote, hey, that means 10% of 3 million people are okay with it. If I get 20% of the vote, oh boy, hey. Yeah. If I mess around and get 40% of the vote, man, we really, done something. If I mess around and win the thing, and Rachel Maddow and everybody, what happened in Oklahoma? Hey, that's like, just icing on the cake. By running, I've already, started a momentum of something. The more my name is out there, the more, folks are going to come out of the closet, and they're going to start looking up Oklahoma Atheists. They're going to start looking up Student Secular. It's going to kind of open the door that, hey, it's okay. There are a lot of us. So I would say, yeah, hey, I'll watch for it. Help me get the name out there. Be ready. Let me hop back over to, I kind of got off. So here is my overall plan and how I'm going to go about doing this. Is right now, Donald Trump is setting us up perfect. He done offended the Muslims, the African Americans, women, Hispanics, and he won't stop. He won't stop. So what I've been doing is I've been going to different organizations. Like 2 weeks ago, I talked to CARE, which is the Council for Islamic Relations, and they're like, yeah, we're on board. And what? Yeah. And I need to call them up tomorrow and follow up because of that incident up in Tulsa. Everybody familiar with what happened in Tulsa? Yeah. Anybody not? Up in Tulsa, a gentleman shot. Oh. Yeah, shot. Yes, a gentleman shot a man because he thought that he was Islamic. He was, I forget, what they said.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was Christian, but the guy just shot him. a while ago, he ran his mom over with a car. Yeah, this is not going to stop. And that's what I'm telling, all groups. That's what I would tell the LGBT group. Y'all, hey, it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. But right now, with the plan that I have, is connecting these progressive groups and, organizing one big rally that's going to include, the LGBT community I talked to. CARE is on board. Tomorrow I'm talking to the Hispanic chambers. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to be on board. As I keep connecting these progressive groups, Black Lives Matter, they're going to be on board. And the idea is to get all the groups together, put together one big rally, and and we're going to call it, what name did we come up with?
Protest against inaction.
Protest against inaction. In essence, what we're doing is we're setting a signal fire to all the other progressives across the state, because there are a lot of them, but nobody knows that the other group is ready. The people in Ada don't know that the people in Woodwork are ready. The people in Woodwork don't know that the people over in Tahlequah are ready. The people in Tahlequah don't know that the people in Frederick are ready. But if we make a lot of noise right here, right now, the atheist community, the Muslim community, the Jewish community, LGBT, Black Lives Matter, Planned Parenthood, if we put together an event right now and we make enough noise and we say, hey, y'all go out and register, we're ready, and let Donald Trump keep on doing his thing, we can pull this off. We can pull this off. Are we ready? Yes, we are. Let's talk about if my opponent is elected. What does that mean? Well, again, that means he represents a small group of, Caucasian, Christian, conservatives. Yeah, right there. There's a whole big block that are just, he's just missing. Let's say, and I want to say this, even if, I've heard James Langford say some things that I was thinking, that's kind of mean. But let's say even if, and what I'm telling the other groups, even if James Langford seems to be reasonable to him, his followers are not. Donald Trump has fired up a dangerous group of people. And for Langford to win, which is still an uphill battle, that would just let them know, hey, it's okay. It's okay. We can do whatever we want. We got to stop that. We got to stop that by, connecting progressive groups, getting involved, helping with the campaign, having people, join the Facebook group, connecting me with other folks that you know. That's what we need to do right now, today. To make sure I'm still not missing anything. So I am going to, I love the way the CARE guy, when he got excited, he said, just tell me, what do you need? What do you need? I love the way he said it. Just tell me, what do you need? I'm going to tell y'all the same thing. Mike is on me. Mike is on me. Donations. I need donations. How I'm going to use that is there's a lot of folks that are like, hey, I want a yard sign, Sean. I want a bumper sticker. We are grassroots, so we just kind of been putting along. We've just been putting along. So, donations. You don't have to be rich. If people are giving, $5 or $10 here or there, or telling their friends to donate $5 or $10, that money's going to be taken and turned around to, to put yard signs in yards. And here is the other beautiful thing that, a friend told me that happened is their signal fires. He said, well, yeah, I put a Bernie sign in my yard. And my neighbor, who I've known for years, I thought he was conservative. But a week later, his neighbor came out, and guess what sign his neighbor stuck in the yard? A Bernie sign. They've been living beside each other and had no idea where their political views were. Anybody in Norman? How many Bernie signs did y'all notice down there?
A lot.
Yeah, they were all over the place. So if we do the same, thing, we're putting out signs, we're putting out bumper stickers, we're sending out that signal fire that y'all, hey, here's a progressive movement, let's keep it going. In order to do that, I'm gonna need donations. What else I'm gonna need that's even more important? I need friends. Friends. Please have your friends go and like the U.S. Senate page. Have them go and like the Progressives for Sean for Oklahoma. Because Langford has anywhere from about $2 to $6 million. I thought it was 6, but we was thinking that might be what he'd raised. He has a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh, he has a lot of money. And where he would use that money is, it may be just leaflets out there that he's putting out there, advertisements, bumper stickers. But if we got friends, adding friends, if you add 3 friends, and you add 5 friends, and you add 12, and you only add 1, but your 1 adds 5 other friends, now we're starting to control the message. So no matter what Langford does, if people, are seeing, advertisement on TVs, okay, yeah. So far, since what I've heard, he's only done maybe one, maybe two. But no matter what they say, if people are making personal contact with their friends and they're adding them to the page, no matter what Langford does, yeah, we still have, a message that we can put out to a large group. Right now on our Facebook page, we have about 4,400 likes on the Facebook page. I think that's more than any other, candidate or challenger running. So we're doing good there, but we're going to need more. We're not only going to just need your friends that are local, your friends and family, but if y'all know anybody that's living out in Guyman, Oklahoma, if you know anybody that's, down in Madill, Oklahoma, I need your friends. Please add friends, add friends, add friends. If you go a couple of weeks and, you hadn't done anything and you see something on the news that reminds you about the campaign, just go back to it. I need to add friends. I would even go so far as to just make them like the page. And if you happen to accidentally catch a conservative friend, they'll click unlike. Or they'll stay in there and troll. And we've had some trolls. And what happens with trolls, it gives the other people in the group a voice, to jump on, and they hop on them pretty quick. So don't be afraid to add friends. I need that. Here is something else. Help me connect to other groups that you know of. Or if you just want to, host a small gathering at your house and invite me over, hey, that's good. If I just come over and I'm talking to 5 of your friends, because those 5 of your friends are going to say, okay, yeah, hey, I'll go and talk to another 5. We started, small grassroots. So no matter what it is, just help me get there. Now, here is something that, I've noticed in the campaign. I have seen people jump out there and say, hey, Sean, if you do this, this, and this, and, and contact this person. So I'm getting a lot of great ideas, but there's so many of them, I can't execute them all. So if you do, have a group that you're interested in me coming to talk to, if you'll please just go ahead and put it together. You can let me know, hey, Sean, I'm gonna try to put you together with this group. Okay, great. But, help us out because we still a grassroots campaign. Help us out by, hey, Sean, if you're interested, I will set you up to go talk to, John Doe. Yeah, I'll do it. Now let me, just come right back to make sure that I'm not missing anything. I want to make sure we can do questions. Yes, I covered that. I covered that. That is, I'm going to go back and just end it with this here. Even if we get just 10% of the vote, we've already done something here. Just by standing out there running as open atheists, we're changing, the world. We're changing the country. We're starting with our state. And if our state, that is pro-fracking, if our state that's, supposedly super conservative, super religious, if we make a change here, it's going to spark places like, Mississippi. Man, what did they do? How did they get out of it? We have the best chance right here in Oklahoma to make a chance. Why? In Texas, 26 million people. In Oklahoma, 3 million people. We can flip this state sooner than what Texas could. Right now, Oklahoma's never been a priority. So, corporations, they'll put a little bit of money into it. The Republicans, they're trying to put out Trump fires. They may put a little bit of money into Langford's campaign. But again, everybody assumes that Oklahoma's going to go red again. Everybody assumes that Langford is going to, just win by a landslide. It's an uphill battle, but wouldn't you like the chance to surprise everybody? Y'all, thank you. Let me take a few questions.
Sean, I'd like to say something about the signs.
Okay.
I've been researching the signs for Sean, and a lot of people have asked about signs. Signs are coming. It's probably going to be a couple weeks yet. But the problem is, that's why I was going like this. We need money. Signs are about $5 a piece. That's about the best rate I've found for signs. And the problem with signs, Sean has to cover the whole state. So how many signs do you think he needs? 1,000, 2,000, 5,000? And then you have the possibility where you put a sign out, somebody comes along and destroys that sign, so it has to be replaced. So we need a lot of signs. Bumper stickers are in the pipe already.
Yeah.
We'll have bumper stickers soon. So if you go to his page, make sure you hit the donate button and just donate whatever you can. $5, $10. That's just one latte down here.
I want to cover, just a few of those frequently asked questions. here is something that, we're working against. Whenever folks started calling and asking for, me to consider running, one of the reasons why is they didn't like their Democratic, candidate. And I met him, and yeah, he is kind of, off. Yeah, he is very off, and I can see why. Most of the establishment Democrats, they've been telling me, hey, Sean, I can't support you publicly, but you got my vote. Okay, good. But where we're worried is your typical Democrat who just goes in and sees the D and vote. Again, with what Bernie did by, social media and people spreading his name, hey, every time you see it, hey, their name is popping up, oh, Sean Braddy, oh, Sean Braddy. And it's working. There was one night that me and my wife walked into Ross at 10 at night, at 10 o'clock at night. We walked in, they weren't quite closed yet. There was a Native American guy, walked back out. After a bit, he came back in, and he came up to me, you're Sean Braddy, aren't you? Well, yes, I am. And ways, okay, well, all right, yeah, I felt pretty confident. Yes, I am. He said, well, I thought that was you, but then, I saw your car out there, so then I knew it was you. I just wanted to come in and thank you. In Ardmore, Oklahoma, Tuesday, or whatever night that was, at Ross. What are the odds? So it's happening. And so I would encourage folks, I got to be able to beat, that Democratic, name. And by doing that, adding people to the group, keep encouraging people, make posts, Sean Braddy, tweet, change your profile picture to our logo image. Just crazy things that millennials do. Keep doing that. It's working. Now, here is how the guy also knew me. He was in A-OK. He was in A-OK. Again, what are the odds of that? Hey, he knew I was, and he was atheist too. Hey, change is happening. We just need to push it just a little bit. So let me go back to you. I am running as independent, so you're going to have to let people know that. We're going to have to fight against that D beside the name. Something else that we heard, well, do I have to switch to independent to vote for Sean? No. Republicans can vote for me, Democrats can vote for me, Libertarians can vote for me. So that's maybe a question as you're talking to folks, you may have to remind them, hey, anybody can vote for him. Yes, I am, a Bernie-crat. I want to say this here, with the Hillary versus, Bernie, there's two, sides, and I'm not going to, step over. There are some African Americans, they're scared to death of Trump, so they're like, I don't want to chance it. We don't want him to win. Well, in my mind, he may pull off an Oklahoma win anyway, but I understand that, so I'm not going to tell him, hey, no, don't vote for Hillary. No, that's their vote, that's their choice. Now, Sean's a little bit more ignorant. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do as for voting at this point. I'm not certain. I see the dangers, but I always kind of like to test the waters. I always kind of like to just call somebody's bluff. That's just in my nature. Oh, really? Oh, Can anybody think of any other questions?
How can your campaign guarantee that it won't spoil the race and just give it to?
I'm going to translate that. How can we make sure that, my campaign won't just give it to Langford by splitting the Democratic vote?
Yeah.
It's an uphill battle either way. We knew it was going to be split, between the Republican, the Democrat, the Libertarian, the other independent, and myself. What I have, again, going to my advantage is, the millennial vote, the progressive votes. If we throw our name out there, then let's look at it this way. If we throw our name out there and we let them know, hey, this is the Bernie-crat, if we do that effectively, my odds go through the roof because Bernie won 75 counties and 77 counties. If we can do that, our odds go through the roof. What do I see as a downside? There's other factors that I can't control that I see as a downside. More Republicans may show up because it's Hillary, winning, or that's going to be the nominee. So that may have a spoiler in that. On the other side, some Republicans may be like, hey, there's no way I'm voting for Trump, so they may not show up. So we can't say for definite what's going to ruin or what's going to, help the campaign. What I do know, what I do feel is the more people we tell and give that option, hey, our odds go through the roof. We can look at this. The independent voter registration continues to go up. The Democratic, which I'm sad to say because I still vote Democrat, has been going down. So Oklahoma, by voting for Bernie, it showed we're not just ready to go to the left, we're ready to go far to the left. Are we ready? Yes, again, I believe so. There was a year I was talking to Red McCall. Is everybody familiar with Red McCall? And he was talking about how when he talks to people from other states and he tells how many people show up for events, they're all surprised by how many people get to show up for events. Why? Because Oklahoma's ready. We've lived in such an oppressive state that, people are showing up for meetings. People are showing up for Moms Demand Action. They said, hey, we get great turnout too. Yeah, it's happening. What's going to be the factors is going to win or break the campaign or split the campaign? I don't know. I do know this here. Y'all may have to tell everybody, the suckers, they stuck my name at the bottom. They put my name at the bottom. So when you tell folks, say, they put his name at the bottom, it's going to be Langford, Workman, Robert Murphy, Mark Beard, Sean Braddy. So just tell him, just go to the bottom. He's down there at the bottom.
They saved the best for last.
Oh, there you go.
So I get if you Google your name, eventually it shows up that your name.
Uh-huh.
So that's not a problem. If I put on Twitter, hey, there's an open atheist running for Senate, that's really cool.
Oh, if you do that?
If I do that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Sure. Be
Yeah.
sure and tag his
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Be sure and
I'm okay.
Be
Because
sure and
here
connect
again,
your Twitter handle if you do
again,
it.
I'm not out there, bluffing and throwing it in people's face. But if other folks say, well, hey, he's atheist, y'all check him out. Check him out and see. Yeah, I think that helps.
Braddy for Senate. That's
What is it? What's the Twitter handle?
At
Braddy
Braddy for Senate.
Do we need to pass some of these
So
around?
if you're gonna tweet it, you might as well.
Sean, I want to add something about
Here,
the
it's on there.
splitting the Democratic vote.
Okay. Mike, go ahead.
I work for a Democratic candidate as well as Sean, for a House district, my House district. I know a lot of Democrats. I have not found one yet that's willing to vote for the Democratic candidate for some,
Yeah.
running against Sean. So I wouldn't worry about trying, you thinking you're gonna split the Democratic vote. Most Democrats don't like that guy. They're not gonna vote for him. I don't know what they're gonna do. I'm trying to convince them to vote for Sean.
Yeah.
I think Sean was right though, sorry to interrupt, but when he said a lot of Democrats in Oklahoma, because I've done this myself, just vote, take it, we just vote.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's something, if you're talking to people,
Yeah.
make sure that they're not one of them,
I voted
straight
Democrat.
voters.
Yeah, straight card.
You want me to pass this out?
Oh, just pass them around and, Now, here is, and I'll take any help because again, we all have, social media at our fingertips. So if somebody does want to, just make a meme, that says, hey, don't vote straight Democrat, and who's the worst Democrat that we had in the past? Have we had any kind of, period? But let me get to my point. If you're just making a meme, say, hey, don't vote straight Democrat, and you throw my logo in, hey, that's great. You've already kind of helped out. Anything that you post on social media helps me out. If you're all right with me, if you're okay with me, if you're like, Sean, he's crazy. Okay, all right.
How about instead of don't vote Democrat, just say don't vote for the party, vote for the person?
There you
Yeah.
go.
Don't vote for the party, vote for the person. See if you can find a great little shot of me doing something like.
You need to make this larger down here, anybody can vote for Sean.
Is that on-
Yes.
Yeah, you need to make that larger.
Anybody? I think you're right. We'll do that on the
Oh,
next round that
down
we pull
here.
out.
Oh, yes, right there. Yeah.
Can anybody else think of a question? I'm taking all kind of questions.
In the general,
Kenny,
Have you faced like any kind of opposition, mainly from like
that way. So
the atheist
I
crowd?
have some
Is there anyone kind of challenging your faith?
has there been anybody in the atheist crowd that's challenged me?
Right, right.
Wait a minute. Yeah, I got another story. Y'all won't believe this one. Now, I always say when you run for office, you're going to have, a few great stories, and I got a doozy. Now, what do you mean by challenged?
like,
I don't know, just kind of smeared.
Oh,
And I know
yeah,
that, I know that,
Yeah.
that probably goes on
yeah.
almost all campaigns, if not.
I want to say this here. You know, I knew that it would be dirty. I knew that it would be, you know, nasty, you know, running for an office. I knew that. And in my mindset, even before I decided to run, there were other folks that were thinking about running. And here's the reasons that I heard, you know, people decide not to. Well, you know, my finances are messed up, you know, and I don't, you know, want to look at my finances. Oh, well, I got a background, you know, I don't want them running, you know, for a background. Well, y'all, my finances are messed up, not because I'm lazy or don't work hard. It's just because the cost of living is so high. And, you know, 3 kids and you're trying to juggle everything. You know, do I got a background? Well, no, I've never been to, you know, a jail or anything like that, but I'm sure anybody can dig up dirt. Oh, well, I heard this, I heard that. But I knew it had to be done. That's my family motto. Why do we do it? It has to be done. And what I hope, you know, to do is, you know, say, hey, if an African-American atheist, progressive, independent person will run for office, if I'm bold enough to get up there and do it, y'all, hey, go. You know, go. I hope somebody does say, you know, hey, if that African-American atheist, I think I got a better shot. Yes, go do it. So, yeah, there has been that smear campaign, you know, from, you know, folks that, you know, that was working with the campaign. And if you ever decide to run, yeah, call me because, oh, yeah, don't do this, don't do that. But here's the kicker, y'all. Here's the kicker. So one of the young ladies that we had working for the campaign, she worked, you know, with us for 2 months. And when people come to the campaign, I let them know, well, hey, if you go with this campaign, I want to see where you are religiously, you know, because that's going to come up. And, you know, this girl said, hey, she was atheist. She said she was atheist. Okay, all righty, good. She had been coming to our house, helping out, you know, coming to our house for long hours. We fed her kids, we fed her, we put gas in her car. And, you know, my sons, 18 and 16, yeah, we've all talked about religion and the absurdity of religion. Come to find out, this girl was Christian the whole time. She had been, you know, she had lied, you know, to say that she was Christian as if that would have made a difference to us, you know, to help with the campaign. Hey, you know, I'm not, you're here to spit on Christian. Yeah, that's your belief or whatever, so. But when they start talking about, you know, atheists have no morals, I can always say, hey, you know, 2 whole months. At any time in month 1, she can say, hey, I'm really Christian. I just said that to you. Okay, don't worry about it. And my 18-year-old said, man, we really just kind of ragged on religion. And she just sat there and listened to it the whole time. But she didn't have to do that. So that's one doozy. And I expect that, you know, yeah, that will, you know, happen. Again, I'm doing it because it needs to be done. There may be some people that may feel what Cat Williams calls as haters, because the better we do, the more they start to hate. I expect that, you know, but my heart is in making change, making progressive change. You know, even if I don't win the U.S. Senate and it is an uphill battle, I made change. I stepped out there. And it's going to just kind of serve, you know, the more progressives we connect, you know, hey, the better it's doing for everybody. I think Oklahoma's ready. Anybody else?
I got a question. What is your stance on the economy? Because we haven't really touched on that. What is your stance on the economy, specifically with Oklahoma?
I want to start with corporations are not people. I think we need to introduce legislation to define what a real person is and what a corporation is. When we start talking about economy, no more tax breaks for the super rich. Pay your fair share of taxes. Just pay. Of course, they say, well, we pay, you know what, 35%. That's the marginal rate. What is the effective tax rate that you pay? 0. So as for the economy, where we need to spend, you know, money, yeah, let's stop spending it on defense and discretionary spending. And let's start spending it on mandatory spending. I believe if we take care of people first, you know, then business and corporations, or I even hate corporations. Let's say it like this here. My mindset is people before profit. Is that kind of the answer you're looking at, or do you need to get more detail?
Well, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I completely agree with you on everything, but My stance is much more like, okay, what specifically would you do to, because if you look at Oklahoma, the state right now, they're declining massively.
Right.
We're doing very good. Cochran and Will was doing really good. Right now, our unemployment just topped the national average, and it's increasing massively, very quickly right now. So they're losing jobs, just huge numbers right now. So that would be, if you had any chance of winning whatsoever, that would be your best stance is, I can provide you with jobs. I can not only provide you with better income, but I can provide you with jobs, and here's my stance on that. So oil's down, and it's not, it might come back, you never know. But, you know, my stance on that is, what else can we do to diversify this state? We need more
You just hit it right
robotics,
there.
We need more IT jobs,
Yeah.
we need more education, more all the way around.
You just hit it. You just hit it right there. Yeah, we need to, diversify. Now, keep in mind, on the state level, I won't be able to affect state policy directly,
Sure.
but we do see that we need to diversify. And of course, for the longest time, we put all our eggs into oil and gas. And here's what I would tell the folks: it's not, oil and gas. What we have to do is start convincing the voters that y'all, the energy sector is going to change. Other companies or other countries are moving away from, moving toward renewable energy. Other states, the government, down in Wynnewood, the oil factory that they have down there, they got their sign out there. And guess what's powering the light on their sign? A solar panel. A solar panel. So, again, we got to change the mindset.
Sure.
And what I would tell your conservative voter who, like, hey, I made my living in oil and gas. Yes, fine, Dandy, you did that. I understand. If you're 55, 65 and you've been doing oil and gas, you're going to be fine. It's not going to go away that fast. If you're 55, 45, 30, you may start looking and, retraining yourself, because it happens to us all the time. We rely on oil and gas. Those folks go out and buy these big trucks, and the older folks try to tell them, hey, y'all, it's going to go down. And we get in this bind again. Oil goes down. People lose their job, and oil companies they're not laying people off to break even. They're laying people off to protect their profits.
Right. Yeah.
For those who are 20, I would start telling them, hey, don't guarantee. There is a growing industry, and I hate clean energy because they're sneaking, they're sneaking in. Well, fracking is clean energy. So I say renewable. I say renewable energy. If you're 20 or 30 and you got the chance to go and get retrained, that would be the direction that I, would push you to. Now, as for on the Senate level, on a federal level, if a corporation does come and talk to me about, setting up in Oklahoma, tell me if this makes sense. Well, we're giving them tax breaks, which, I think we need to stop. We're giving them incentives. We even train our workers to work specifically for them. Why don't we, hey, we can give you all this, but we want to guarantee that in a downturn, we're going to give us 2 years before you start laying people off. If you want this, if you want to come here, we want 2 years, 3 years before you start laying people off and just kind of brushing people off on our unemployment system. Why don't we do that? Any reason not to? I fear that a lot of politicians don't have negotiating power. And I know probably a lot of them are locked in by, the large corporations, so they have no say-so. But if I'm elected, I've negotiated before, and my mind is, hey, I'm gonna try to work this in a deal. I'm going to work for, whereas, Hillary was saying $12 and negotiating. If you go for $12, what are you gonna get? Maybe 9, 10, they're going to work you down. If you go for 15, they may work you down to 12. Now, Sean's so ignorant, I would hit him hard. We're going for $20 an hour, minimum wage. Of course, they would be shocked. And they, what the heck? But I already got their thinking up. They was thinking, we might get around about 8 or 9. 20? Yeah. Well, shoot, Sean, we might close around 11. Ding, ding, ding. I already got that first bump. So, I think as the economy, it's just going to take a different mindset that's not obligated by party politics, that's not obligated by corporation and large donors. Just by getting progressive people in there and getting money out of politics, we're off to a good start. I hope I'm there. We can always talk.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree with your mindset. It's just, it's a very very, you got a lot of opposing forces here.
It,
A lot of it has to do with money, and people here are very much so, like you're saying about the economy, people are very much so tied to your jobs. So with oil and gas being down, it's just, and then my industry, we don't rely upon oil and gas. I solely rely on aerospace. I don't work for that industry, but we do really good with that. That's supported Oklahoma City a lot. I don't know about other cities here, but it's doing really good because of that.
aerospace.
Aerospace is doing well. If you look at Boeing, Tinker, they bring in more jobs than just about anybody else. So they're doing really good right now, and they're expanding.
Yeah.
But if you look at a lot of other industries, they're down here.
Yeah, a lot of other industries are down, and you said it, perfectly. We got to diversify. We can't just put all our eggs in one
I haven't
basket.
seen a whole lot of that. I haven't seen a whole lot of IT. I haven't seen a lot of much diversity as outside of that.
All right. I think Oklahoma's a really young state,
It is.
and I'm gonna save that one for a person. Oklahoma's a really young state, and we're playing catch up. There has been those, have and have-nots, and it's been a bit, I think now people are starting to see the difference between the have and have-nots. Oklahoma, I think it's been, prevalent in our state for a long time. And again, I'll go back with technology today. Now people are talking back and forth. We can talk to somebody in Tulsa at the blink of an eye. So information's getting passed. All righty. I'll take, 2 more questions. Okay.
What's your stance on private prisons?
That's a good one.
I worked in prison in
Yeah.
the state for over a decade, so it's always prevalent.
Here is, when you start talking about profit, and I've seen this, I work in juvenile detentions, there's no desire to get them out. Rehabilitation versus retention, the longer I keep these folks in, the more I get. I can cut and give them crummy food and save money there. I can hire, a prison guard for $9. They're always going to do that. Business and corporations about profit. Make as much as you can, pay out as little as you can. I know Mary Fallon's, tried to say, hey, she's doing away with private prisons, but what a lot of people, don't know is the Department of Justice is doing away with private prisons. They're stopping funding private prisons, and I think it's the right thing to do. I think let's do it right now. Let's get the people that smoke marijuana out of prison. That's a health issue, it's not a criminal issue. Let's do a 180 right now as fast as we can. I'll take another one. Is that right about where you were?
Yeah.
Okay. One more. I don't know. I got a question for one millennial. There's so many of you. I know y'all got one more. Well, hey, I'll say this. I really appreciate your support. If y'all want to come up and ask me questions, y'all, thank you. Again, hey, donate, add friends. For the next, 11 weeks, I'm gonna need all the help I can get. So let's just push. So that Rachel Maddow will be saying, Oklahoma's elected an African-American atheist. Okay, y'all, thank you very much.